history will get a chance to see their team potentially lock into that third spot in Group I. Turkey and Spain currently duking it out, with Turkey currently have an 8-point lead over Spain in the third, and actually the beginning of the fourth quarter of that game. And then Ukraine and Slovenia will also be facing off here today. If you see the standings here in Group I, Spain currently at the top, but a chance for Turkey to match their record of 7-2. You see Latvia third place, Montenegro in fourth, and we will take the chance to remind you that the top 3 teams of this group will qualify for the FIBA 2019 World Cup in China next summer. So this is a game of tremendous magnitude. Obviously, Latvia will do everything in its power to take care of the home court advantage. Meanwhile, the visitors here being introduced from Montenegro will look to take over that third place spot. These two teams will then again match up in February. But at the moment, this is a very, very big game. The World Cup qualifiers, this is the game day 9 of 12 and 5th of 6 windows. Currently, we've had 4 of the 12 teams qualify for the European qualifiers in Germany, Greece, Lithuania, and Czech Republic. Meanwhile, the Latvian national team getting ready to be introduced here. And once again, in the FIBA World Cup, the second round of the qualifiers, the 3 highest placed teams from each group will qualify. There's currently 4 groups left. This Group I was merged from the first round, and this is the second of 3 windows in the second round. Meanwhile, Giannis Blooms, the veteran, the only player for Latvia who's played in all 8 games so far. And we're going to see a lot of new faces for this Latvian team, and for Coach Ligvargars. That's one of them there, Kasper Berzins. No Giannis Tima, no Strelnieks, no Bertans brothers today. But there is Brazulis and Martins Myers, who will be most likely counted on. You see him there to be the go-to guy. Comes in as the team's leading scorer, 12 points per game. And we'll see a lot of the action go through him, we assume. Meanwhile, for Montenegro, they've got a couple of stars in their lineup, including Bojan Dubjovic and Nikola Ivanovic. Those two combining for 56 points the last time out against the Ukraine for Montenegro. And they are a dominant inside-out force. So we're going to have a short pause in the commentary for that. Anthems, Montenegro. So that was the anthem for Montenegro. And we'll now have the host anthem sung here for Latvia. the national anthems have been sung, and now we have the referees for today's game. Manuel Mazzoni from Italy, Janusz Kalic from Poland, and Martin Horozov from Bulgaria. These are some of the premier officials in all of Europe. You might recognize Mazzoni from the final of the Eurobasket 2017. And that was a tournament that featured both of these teams, actually, kind of a coming out party for Latvia. Meanwhile, for Montenegro, we mentioned Bojan Dubrovic and Nikola Ivanovic. Also, Derek Needham, another guy that's counted on, plays a lot of minutes. And of course, Alexa Popovic is the third player to be in double figures. And the starting five will feature Popovic, Lagoda Sekulic inside, Bojan Dubrovic, Nikola Ivanovic on the point, and Petar Popovic as well in the backcourt. Meanwhile, for Latvia, kind of a makeshift starting five. The roster features three players that haven't had a chance to compete in these qualifiers yet, but they do return the veteran Giannis Blooms, 36 years old. Martin Myers, we mentioned, the big man, number 33. And of course, Artis Ate will likely have to step up his scoring output with a few of their, we'll say, more consistent scorers missing. And the starting five will feature Ate alongside Kaspars Vegvagaris in the backcourt, and then Lomas on the wing, and inside Martin Mayers and Kaspars Berzins will get a chance to make his debut here in the World Cup qualifiers with a start. Meanwhile, the coach from Montenegro, Zvedan Mitrovic, and he's done a great job leading his team to a 4-4 record after starting 1-3 in the qualifiers. Meanwhile, Arnis Vegvagaris, who had a tall task of replacing Coach Begatskis after his tremendous run to the semifinals of the Eurobasket, or should I say the quarterfinals of the Eurobasket, before Latvia lost to the eventual champion Slovenia. Meanwhile, Montenegro also managed to qualify past the group phase in that 2017 Eurobasket. And they are currently ranked 31st in the world of FIBA. This Latvian team still 16th. And of course, rankings don't mean everything, but still means a lot to be a top 20 team in the world in this great sport of basketball. So we're just moments away now from the opening tip. We're going to have a moment of silence out of respect for Patrick Baumann, the FIBA Secretary General, who passed away last month. One of the tremendous minds of basketball and promoters of the sport across the world, including the IOC. So we will have a brief moment of silence and hear just a few moments. With the vision to bring the basketball closer to fans all over the world. A sign of sorrow and solidarity of his family, we kindly ask you to stand up and respect this minute of silence. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So Patrick Baumann, who passed away last month in Argentina, again was instrumental in setting up this new format of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers in a way to really entice home nations to get a chance to watch their players play in meaningful games ahead of the eventual European Championships, World Cup Championships, and of course now with the FIBA World Cup having so much significance as it can decide a chance in the Olympics as well. So a lot of new ways for international basketball to continue to grow, and Patrick Baumann, one of the reasons that that's been allowed to happen. So Mazzoni will launch a tip, and Berzins and Dublevic will jump for it. And we are underway here at the Riga Arena. Montenegro in red, Latvia in the home whites. First possession going to Montenegro. Here's Ivanovic. Gets all the way to the cup for the easy deuce. And a promising start there for Ivanovic. Again, he comes in averaging close to 14 points per game. Had 30 the last time out in a Montenegro jersey. Meanwhile, a nice dish and cut. And our first foul of the game is going to go against Ivanovic after Berzins is able to slip the screen, get into the lane, draw the foul. So he'll head to the free throw line for 2. So Burns is his first free throw. Drops in for the first point for Latvia. Burns goes 2 for 2, tie this one up early. So both teams scoring on their initial possessions. Now we're going to see a little backcourt pressure. Lomash trying to deny Ivanovic. Meanwhile, Sekulic gives it back to Ivanovic. Just a high screen from Dulovic. And a nice dump off and an easy 2 for Sekulic. So Ivanovic involved in the first 2 plays, first 2 baskets for Montenegro. And a quick deflection, puts the ball out of bounds. You expect a lot of the offense from Montenegro to run through Dublevic, as you see there. Some good backcourt pressure and the poke away. Meanwhile, Vegvagars can't hit his first shot. Rebound goes to Sekulic. Ivanovic pushing the tempo. Looking to go inside. See a lot of help side defense already for Latvia. And the strong position for Dublevic. Goes to the jump hook, easy 2 again. And it's 3 for 3 for Montenegro. All 3 baskets coming inside the paint as well. Meanwhile, Lomash running the point. Little crossover, tough shot, and he'll head to the free throw line. That's 2 fouls against Ivanovic. So, tough break for him defensively, as the first 90 seconds, he'll probably have to head to the bench. You see there, Lomash doing a great job of initiating the contact. Not much more Ivanovic could have done, but picks up his second foul nonetheless. First free throw is good again for Richard Lomash. Comes into the game playing about 15 minutes per game, 6.5 points. And he goes 2 for 2. And once again, we see the backcourt pressure from Latvia. Derek Needham replaces Ivanovic. And Popovic knocks over Vegvagars. Meanwhile, Needham steps into a 3, knocks it in for the first 3-point shot of the night. And right off the bench, Needham making an impact. Montenegro with a torrid start so far. 9 quick points in less than 2 minutes. Meanwhile, another drive and a strip that time from Needham, as Lomash was looking to get into the lane. Here's Popovic. Needham. Nice pass all the way to the corner. 3-pointer short that time for Dublevic. The great hustle from Myers gives Latvia a chance to run. Lomash wants to get the ball inside, throws it up high, but it's deflected away by Dublevic. And Montenegro get a team steal. Here's Popovic. Needham, tough pull-up, short. Myers the rebound. Regards. Oh, gets all the way to the basket, but can't convert the layup. Sekulic the rebound, a quick outlet up to Popovic. Decides to pull it back out. Needham calls out the play. Ate applying the pressure. Here's Petar Popovic. Little handoff action. All good two-man game. Dubljevic, spin move, lefty hook. That's no good. Gets his own rebound. Oh, the wraparound pass. What a catch by Sekulic. And he gets the easy two. And that's going to lead to a timeout for Latvia, who really have to buckle down on defense. Take another look here. This beautiful pass by Dubljevic. Not just the vision, but able to get the ball on target around two defenders. Dubljevic, who came into this game with 24 points and 8.5 rebounds in just 2 games for Montenegro in the qualifiers, but you can see why the Valencia player, the impact. Meanwhile, Latvia still yet to have a field goal, all 4 points from the free throw line. You see that Montenegro already with 6 field goals. So Zvezdan Mitrovic has to be happy with the start, especially on offense. Montenegro team did a great job of finding each other. Obviously the rebounding numbers very low at the moment here in the early going. So the Montenegrins will look to continue their hot start. Meanwhile, we expect Latvia to try to get the ball more to Martins Myers, who really hasn't had a chance to get a shot off yet. And we see the press now. Ate. So Regards running the show. And there's going to be another foul. This time it's Petar Popovic. Already the 3rd team foul for Montenegro. None so far for Latvia. Ball goes inside. Here's Myers. Puts his forearm down and able to get a jump hook to fall right over Dubljevic. And like we said, they need to get Myers some touches. His first one leads to the first field goal for Latvia. It's a steal. Here comes Berzins. They don't really run with it. Regards over to Lamage. It's the high screen from Myers. Kind of in trouble, and it's a near turnover, but Needham unable to save the ball. So Needham giving the explanation from the referee, and they're going to put, there was no change in possession, so the shot clock will not reset, and they'll put 8 seconds on the shot clock. And Lamage, the long two, no good. And Skyen in for the rebound. Sekulic. Montenegro, early 5-point lead. So we're near the halfway point of the first quarter. You see Dubljevic looking to post up. Berzins wants a 3 seconds call. Meanwhile, Popovic, tough layup. Gets all the way to the cup. And able to get it in and off the glass. Montenegro seemingly scoring every time down the floor. Good defense there by Needham. Berzins. It's to Lamage. Back to Berzins, the three in the corner. Big man showing you the outside touch. Berzins keeping the ball high, no hesitation whatsoever in that shot.
And it's a big field goal for Latvia. Give them a little bit of momentum. Meanwhile, Dubljevic inside. Great footwork, able to get to the reverse. And Bojan Dubljevic probably feels like he cannot be stopped here tonight. His second field goal. Meanwhile, Berzins, can he go 2 for 2? Why not? Back-to-back trays. And Kaspers Berzins cannot leave him open. Coach Vagvagars with a signal up. Meanwhile, Dubljevic can't respond with a 3 of his own. And, nice move and finish by Artis Ate for his first field goal. No help side defense. Driving left, finishing right with a little English spin off the glass. And now we have a 2-point game. Latvian fans getting into it. Needham, a little runner. He knocks it in for his second field goal. So Derek Needham really stepping in here for Ivanovic after he picked up the first 2 fouls. Meanwhile, they go back inside to Myers. Crab dribble middle, spins back, gets the soft touch off the front rim. And once again, Myers showing you why he's been involved in a lot of the action. This is now his 7th game. He's only missed 2 so far in the qualifiers. Meanwhile, look at that position by Dubljevic. 2 easy and 1 opportunity. Bojan Dubljevic bullies his way in front of the rim, and Berzins can't do much to stop it from happening. Berzins, the 33-year-old veteran who got the call up for this round of action, the qualifiers. Had a great offensive start. Meanwhile, Grzoulis will come off the bench. Andreas Grzoulis is another staple of this Latvian national team. Not much of a scorer, but definitely provides energy off the bench. Meanwhile, Dubljevic converts a 3-point play from the foul line, and then he'll head to the bench for a quick rest. So already 7 points for him, and he's replaced by Filip Barovic, the 6'9" center. Nice pass, and Grzoulis able to get an easy 2, fresh off the chairs from the bench. And it's been an up and down game here so far. Both teams putting up points. Popovic and the screen from Barovic. Little quick pass inside. He can't finish. And Ate comes away with the rebound. Finds Grzoulis running the floor. Looked to throw it down. Got fouled at the last moment. Smart foul that time by Sehovic. Grzoulis a little bit slow in taking off, giving Sehovic a chance to get back into the play and earn the points from the free throw line. See the good sportsmanship. Meanwhile, in the other Group I game, Turkey comes away with a huge win over Spain, 71-67. As that one just went to the buzzer. Grzoulis knocks down the free throw. And there we see the veteran Giannis Blooms checking in for the first time. He gets a huge ovation from these fans. Giannis Blooms, maybe 36 years of age, but still provides a spark whenever he's in the game, that's for sure. Here's Needham now. Can't find the angle inside. They're gonna call a off-the-ball foul on Grzoulis. Grzoulis, who might be up there in most fouls per minute in FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Picking up his first. Meanwhile, that Turkey victory means that they move to 7-2, and they put Spain at 7-2 as well. So those two teams will continue to fight for the top spot. Latvia could potentially get closer as the three-pointer's no good by Selvic. Montenegro able to collect the offensive rebound, reset. Needham, little step back, knocks it down again. And Needham off the bench with an electrifying start on offense. There's Ate, Lamash. Oh, the pass can't quite connect with Grzoulis, who's claiming that it went off a Montenegro defender. Referees not agreeing with them. Pass is definitely behind Grzoulis, so Lamash will be attributed that turnover. Here's Needham. Goes inside. Barovic pulls his way down. Jurisic can't finish the layup. Good stop defensively there for Latvia. Catch and shoot three. In and out. And that's number 4, Oyar Silins in the game for the first time. Meanwhile, another foul off the ball. Goes against Latvia, their 13th foul, so they're still a couple of fouls away from the penalty. Meanwhile, here comes Marcus Vitols, replacing Ate. Needham, a couple of crossovers. Goes to Barovic, the lefty again. Hook shot no good, Blooms the rebound. Grzoulis, three on the way, hits the back rim, and they're gonna call a loose ball foul as Lamash couldn't knock down the three. Looks like the foul will go against Barovic. Rebound here, battling for position for Grzoulis. Yep, definitely held that right arm as Grzoulis went for the rebound. So Grzoulis will get a chance for a couple more free throws. Knocks down the first. Grzoulis a perfect 3 for 3 so far. And that's exactly what Latvia needed for guys who weren't usually depended on for scoring to step up and fill those voids left by the absences of Tima, Strelnieks, and Bertans. And Grzoulis, 6 points now, doing just that. Meanwhile, shot clock about 6 or 7 seconds ahead of the game clock. Needham will head to the foul line. He's done a very good job at the top of the key. Just, it's not necessarily an accelerated penetration, but he's very crafty at putting the defender on his hip, coming off that screen. You see there, drawing the contact, keeping Vitols behind him, and he's able to draw the foul and head to the free throw line. First foul against Vitols. Meanwhile, the first free throw falls for Needham. So already 9 points for Derek Needham off the bench, replacing Ivanovic. And now the shot clock is off. Big screen there from Grzoulis. Blooms orchestrating final possession. Nice feed inside Myers, no foul called. And the desperation heave, banks off the back rim, but it won't fall there for Karapic. And at the end of the first quarter, an exciting first quarter of basketball. Montenegro, 4-point lead, 24-20 here on the road in Riga over Latvia. So once again, 24-20 after the first quarter of action. So Kasper Berzins, take a look at the app. Make sure you guys download the FIBA World Cup Qualifier app on your smartphones for either iOS, Apple, or Android devices. You can get stats like this up to the minute to keep you into all the action. You see there, Montenegro doing a lot of damage from inside the arc. Meanwhile, Latvia already 7 converted free throws. As we take a look at some of the highlights of that first quarter of action. Some bright spots for Latvia. We mentioned Berzins with 8 points. Meanwhile, Grzulis off the bench with 6. On the other end for Montenegro, Dubljevic 6 points and 2 assists, and Derek Needham with 9 points as well. Sorry, Dubljevic 7 points. Latvia will need to do it by committee. They don't really have an established go-to guy in this lineup. The teamwork will continue to be the key for Montenegro. A couple of new faces you see there. Again, Karapic checking in at the end of the first quarter. Still have Barovic in the game. Selvic in there as well, number 6. And Needham will still run the point guard duties, matched up here against Vitos. And an offensive foul is going to be called. Martin Myers with the illegal screen. Take another look here. Didn't give the chance. And part of that is also kind of on Vitos, who needs to give his teammate a chance to get set and put on that screen. Meanwhile, Barovic, who was looking to get Myers off of him using his hand. Not a smart play by him. Very demonstrative foul. We'll see here, using his left hand to push Myers off. It's an easy call for the referee. And immediately, Mitrovic goes to his bench. Meanwhile, on the other end, Myers gets another lay-in. Good action there. A little screening to free up Myers on the baseline. And he gets his, I believe it's his 3rd field goal. Needham leaves his feet. Always dangerous as a guard. Go for that jump pass. Oh, Myers a dunk. Coming down the middle to tie this game up. Latvia coming out of the second quarter gates quickly. Blooms. Beautiful pocket pass in the pick and roll to Myers. And you see their help side defense much too late. And Mitrovic wants a timeout to talk it over. Selvic wasn't able to get into help position. Gave Myers a clear lane, and he takes off for the one-handed throwdown. See the updated stats. Montenegro already with 9 field goals inside the arc. Both teams not really looking at the three-point shot. And the bench for Montenegro, all 9 points coming courtesy of Derek Needham. Meanwhile, all 5 of Latvia's bench points coming from Andres Grzulis. So 24-24. Again, Latvia with a chance to move to 6-3 and put themselves 1 game behind both Spain and Turkey. Here's Needham. Selvic. Needham, a nice pass. Jurisic can't hit the shot. Ball bounces around. Jurisic gets it back. And a shot clock violation. And the Latvian fans appreciating the defensive effort from the home side. Mitrovic, so, you know, making his case for a missed call, a non-call underneath. There's Vitols. Blooms. Good hedge defense there by Dublovic. And Vitols pulls up. Long two, no good. Needham comes away with the board. Double high screen action. Needham looks to turn the corner. Popovic catches, shoot, three on the wing, too strong. Tip out, comes back out to Needham. Good hustle there from Selvic. Meanwhile, Jurisic looking to back down Grzoulis, gets all the way to the lane. Can't finish the lefty hook. Grzoulis, the big rebound. So Grzoulis providing some very positive minutes here. And there's gonna be another foul as Selvic looking to get around the screen. Meanwhile, Lamash checks back in, replacing Vitols. Latvia with a chance to get its first lead. Blooms catch and shoot three. Just gets the back rim. Jurisic inside, goes right back at Grzoulis again, and this time Grzoulis will get called for the foul. Jurisic is unable to make it work on the left block. This time goes to the right block. Grzoulis, tough call against him. And yeah, you can see Mitrovic pointing out that the arms were not straight up. Also, Grzoulis probably putting a little bit too much body on him. And that will mean he heads back to the bench after picking up his second foul. That brings back Berzins. Jurisic, nice pump fake. And they're gonna call a travel on that pro hop. So the referee seemed to believe he took an extra step. So you see here, 1, 2, 3, definitely a travel. So Jurisic unable to catch a break here in the early going. And for the first time, we're going to see Dino Radoncic, number 8, who checks into the game for Montenegro. Meanwhile, a technical foul called against Mitrovic gives them an easy free throw. Lamash running the point still. Ceilings gets the ball inside the Myers. It's pretty far away from the key. And another foul called against Montenegro, this time against Dublovic. He gets called for using the forearm. His first personal foul. Already the third team foul, though, for Montenegro in just 3 minutes here in the second quarter. Single double for Blooms. Oh, Lamash crosses over, can't finish the layup. Great move by him. Did everything but finish. See the rebounding numbers in favor of Montenegro. Oh, Dubljevic, nice catch. It's another and one for him. Two-man game between Needham and Dubljevic works to perfection. And the big man showing off the soft touch, absorbs the contact, finger rolls it up and in. So Dubljevic already now with 9 points in less than 10 minutes of play. Of course, Ivanovic only playing a minute 30 seconds before he had to head to the bench. Three-point play converted yet again by Dubljevic, and he's the first player in double figures for either team. It's another illegal screen, this time against Myers, who wasn't set. And Latvia has not learned their lesson, setting the screens. Well, the guards are going off the screens too early. You see here Lamash. That's a tough call. He seemed to be relatively set. It's another offensive foul. Fourth team foul on Latvia. The next foul will lead to free throws. And Dubljevic just doesn't even need the free throws. Showing off the footwork for another field goal. Oh, nice pass inside. Myers follows his own miss, tips it in. So Myers again, picking up the scoring load. He's now got 8, or giving 10 actually. A whistle is called. It's going to be a foul. Let's see here, Vegvigars, who just seemed to have fallen. Popovic, as Needham shoots a technical free throw. So I believe it was a flop. Vegvigars looking to draw an offensive foul, and by doing so, gets called for the technical foul for simulating the fall. Here's Popovic. Dubljevic outside now, can't hit the three. Dubljevic came in shooting about 35% from three, so he can definitely knock it down. Here's Vegvigars, finds Sillins, the extra pass, Lamage, corner 2, no good, toes on the line. Meanwhile, Montenegro looking to run, smartly pull it out, no numbers. Needham steps into a 3 in rhythm and knocks it down. Needham continuing his hot shooting. Knocks down his second three-point shot. He's 4 for 5 overall. And that was perfectly lined up right down the middle. 13 points for him. Needham and Dubljevic combining for 25 points in the first half. The rest of the team only with 8. So a lot of the damage coming from those two, obviously. Meanwhile, both teams 8 assists apiece. See the shooting Montenegro still focusing a lot more on the inside. They're playing through Dubljevic. Foul against Needham. And Vegagar's tough runner knocks it in for his first field goal. So the coach's son showing us why he has the trust of his father. Meanwhile, Needham still running the show. Pulls up from the left elbow and knocks down another one. Derek Needham, the Fairfield product out of Chicago, Illinois, is on fire here in the first half. Oh, nice backdoor cut. Berzin's right wing. It's a third three for him. And it comes at a very key moment as Montenegro seems to have gotten a lot of momentum. Berzin's knocking down his third three-pointer. Has all the three-pointers for Latvia so far. Meanwhile, Needham, another nice pass. Jump shot, no good. Sekulic gets his own rebound, and this time will head to the free throw line for two. Dubovic, another nice interior pass. This time he's able to find Sekulic. And the foul will be given to Ate. So Sekulic, the chance to get his fifth and 6 points. Knocks down the first. Montenegro perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line so far. And he goes 2 for 2. It's another screen from Berzin's. Pick and pop. Oh, it drops in for another three-pointer. Kaspers Berzin's 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Popovic, answers with a three of his own off the dribble. Nice move from him. And Petar Popovic gives Montenegro just their third three-pointer. Meanwhile, Lamash looking to go off the dribble. Oh, wow. Seemed like the ball just kind of got away from him and sails over the backboard. Definitely one for the blooper reel that time. Was able to get by the big man, try to go high off the glass, and went a little bit too high over the glass. Meanwhile, Montenegro, 5-point lead. Just over 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Got a pitch. And that's going to be a foul, hard foul from behind. Dangerous play that time. See it again here. Berzin's looking to track down and contest a shot from behind. Picks up the foul. His third personal, so he has to go back to the bench. And that's going to bring Oyars Seelings back in. Seelings has been very quiet. Yet to score with about 8 minutes on the court. Meanwhile, another free throw for Montenegro and Sekulic. He goes 2 for 2 to give Montenegro their largest lead of the game, 7. And a near turnover. It's going to be a foul as Sekulic was hustling. And in doing so, you see the nice there deflection of Popovic. And right there, no question that Silins gets fouled by Sekulic. So free throws for Silins. Give him a chance to get on the board here before halftime. Sekulic will come out of the game after that foul as well. So currently, Latvia shooting about 50% overall from the field. Montenegro at close to 54%. Silins can't knock in the first free throw. Both teams 3 of 7 from 3. And the second one drops in for Silins. And once again, 6-point game. Blooms now picking up full court. Karapic running the point guard duties with both Needham and Ivanovic on the bench. An offensive foul will go against Dubovic, looking to carve out space on the block. You see there that right arm getting into the neck area of Grzoulis. Two fouls now on Dubovic. Meanwhile, Vagvagars, this runner no good. And Jurisic comes away with the board, looking to push it up himself. Finally finds Popovic. Oh, nice feed. Dubovic a quick 2. Smart play that time. And Dubovic rolls hard to the basket. Pass is on the money from Popovic. Meanwhile, three-pointer knocked in by Giannis Blooms, and we know how quickly he can heat up. Meanwhile, all this time, Karapic turns the ball over looking for Dubovic, who probably wasn't expecting the over-the-head pass. Dubovic will head to the bench with his 2 fouls. Mitrovic looking to avoid any more foul trouble. For the last minute plus for Montenegro, they have a 5-point lead. We'll see where they go to in the last couple possessions. Meanwhile, Blooms, nice pass inside. Grzoulis through the contact, finishing with the left hand. That's going to lead to a timeout by Montenegro. As every time it seems that Montenegro gets a little bit of momentum, starts building a lead, Latvia responds appropriately and cuts it down to 3. Again, that was a very nice pass that time from Giannis Blooms as well. On the roll, finding the roll man. So 44-41, we're at the 1-minute mark. Takes you the second chance points there. Montenegro with 5 offensive rebounds, just 2 for Latvia. So both teams shooting better than 50% from the field and over 40% from 3. Montenegro 99 from the free throw line as well. You see their phenomenal shooting numbers from both sides. It's been a well-played half of basketball. Considering that it's come with a little bit of foul trouble, especially for Montenegro, they've got to be happy as they get ready to go to the locker room for the halftime break. Nikola Ivanovic, who's played in every game for Montenegro, all 8 games, 27 minutes per game, only 1.5 minutes before he picked up his 2 fouls. So we have to remember that he'll be much more involved in the second half. Meanwhile, Needham comes back in to close out this second quarter. A foul once again on Grzoulis, which will put Popovic on the free throw line. So Grzoulis picks up foul number 3. Zulis, who, as I mentioned earlier, very foul prone in the game against Slovenia, the first game of the second round back in September. For Zulis, 4 fouls in 4 minutes of action, no points. So at least today he's put some points on the board, gets the rebound there. Does have 3 fouls, has to be careful. Near turnover. And the drive at the, can't finish the reverse. Rebound comes out to Barovic. And now you see the shot clock and game clock nearly identical, about 1 second off. So Montenegro will be able to run this clock all the way down for the final shot. Oh, they turn it over, nearly. Fortunate bounce. Jurisic, he'll take a 3, no good. And the tip it is no good by Radoncic, but they call a jump ball as the clock shows zeros. The referees will sort this out quickly. So Radoncic crashes the glass, keeps the possession alive. We'll take a look at the replay to see how much time should be left on the clock. It depends whether or not the referees blew the whistle before the clock showed double zeros. So as we're pretty much at the half, it looks like Montenegro will go into the locker room with a 4-point lead, 45-41, which is the same advantage that they had at the end of the first quarter. Both teams putting up 21 points apiece here in the second quarter. So it looks like the possession will go to Montenegro. And the clock still showing 0-0. So they might have a chance to get at least a tip or a quick catch and shoot. Slight delay there. It would be pretty funny though if Montenegro is able to score here. Again, they're just trying to figure out how to put the right amount of time back up on the scoreboard. It's going to be less than a second, I'm assuming. And that's where the struggle is coming in here. How do you put tenths of a second on the game clock at the Riga Arena? Definitely not going to be 9 seconds. Looks like they want to put 0.9. And 0.9 is actually plenty of time in terms of you can catch, turn, and shoot with 0.9. And it looks like they might just settle on 1 second. That's why it's always important to have trained staff ready to go. Radoncic, who is the man responsible for keeping the possession alive. Meanwhile, the fans continue to provide the energy. And Latvia, who on their 14 field goals so far, 12 assists on 14 field goals. So doing a great job sharing the ball. Different guys stepping up. They've also shot 14 for 28 overall, 50%, 10 of 20 from 2, 50%, and 4 of 8 from 3 for 50%. So very consistent shooting both inside and out. Meanwhile, as we take you around the arena to show you all the patient faces. And again, the issue is figuring out how to put tenths of a second on the game clock. Again, for those just tuning in, Turkey with a major victory at home over Spain in the first game here in Group I. Meanwhile, they've got it down to 0.4, which again, by law, is enough time to catch and shoot. So Derek Needham will inbound the ball from Montenegro. Obviously, a foul would be free throws, and it's going to be a turnover, which now puts us at halftime officially, with Montenegro going into the break with a 4-point lead, 45-41 over Latvia. And we'll take a look at some of the stats. You see there, Montenegro with the +7 rebounding advantage. They do have 4 more turnovers than Latvia. One of the reasons Latvia has been able to stay close in the game. And of course, Montenegro was led in scoring by their go-to guy, Bojan Dublovic, with 14 points, and Derek Needham with 15 points. Derek Needham 5 of 6 from the field, including 2 of 2 from 3. And we'll see the highlights in the first 20 minutes of the game. You'll see a lot of that man, Dublovic. You'll see obviously Needham as well. Meanwhile, for Latvia, Kaspars Berzins, 13 points. Myers with 10 points. So they're starting front court, providing a lot of the scoring punch. They definitely need their guards to continue to step up, though, as Domash and Ate, 2 guys in the backcourt, combining for just 5 points. Vevergars also with 2 points. So there's 7 points from the guards, starting guards. Meanwhile, more balance over on the Montenegrin side. And again, Latvia came into this game as the better shooting team overall, better shooting team from 3. Also averaged 1 more rebound than Montenegro. But obviously with different faces in the lineup, a lot of those stats can be a little bit misleading. Montenegro did have the advantage in terms of points off turnovers, fast break points, second chance points, points in the paint, and bench points coming to the game. And those are the things that we've seen kind of come to fruition here as well. They had the lead 20 to 18 points in the paint, 15 to 11 points off the bench, just 6 to 4 second chance points. Meanwhile, neither team really able to get a fast break field goal in that first half. So considering that most of the points coming into the half court, 45 to 41 on 50% shooting is quite impressive. It's a good execution. And meanwhile, we'll be back for the second half here in these qualifiers shortly, as you see Needham and Giannis Blooms exchanging pleasantries. make sure you stay tuned in for the second half of this key matchup in the Group I of the European Qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the Riga Arena. We're just moments away from the second half here in this Group I matchup between Latvia and Montenegro. Montenegro with a 4-point lead at the half, 45-41. It was an exciting half of basketball featuring some phenomenal shooting from both sides. Both teams shooting 50% plus. Latvia also knocking down a few three-pointers, 4 for 8. Montenegro 3 of 8. Montenegro also 10 of 11 from the free throw line, better than 90%. Meanwhile, Latvia shooting about 81% from the free throw line. So both teams showing off their offensive touches, but it's going to be the defense. It's going to be the key here in the second half. Notably for Latvia, can they slow down the big man from Montenegro, Bojan Dubljevic? Also, they have to account for Nikola Ivanovic with his fresh legs coming in and making an impact. Meanwhile, for Coach Mitrovic, he has to decide how he chooses to integrate Needham, who came off the bench in that first half but had 15 points in 15 minutes and 5 of 6 shooting. So Needham will come off the bench yet again here in the second half. The starting five will be the same starting five that started the first quarter. That's Ivanovic, Popovic, Sekulic, and actually it looks like Duricic will be coming into the starting five. So that means that Alexa Popovic has been very quiet and might have suffered some kind of injury. Popovic only played 3 minutes, no points, no shots, no rebounds, no assists, no fouls even. Meanwhile, Ivanovic still salty about that second foul that he picked up in the early going of the game, which forced him to sit out the rest of the half. Obviously a conservative coach by Zvezdan Mitrovic. Could have played him, but seemingly believed there was no need to. Meanwhile, we're back live, underway. For Latvia, it's Ate, Myers, Lomash, Berzins, and Begvagars. And Berzins can't continue his perfect shooting from the outside as he misses his first shot of the game. He was 4 for 4 before that, 3 of 3 from 3. Meanwhile, Popovic gets into the lane and draws a foul. Takes a hard tumble. And grabbing the back of his head. So Popovic going at 3 players. You see there, Begvagars gets his arm tangled up with Popovic. So they'll take a look at the monitor to make sure that it was not an unsportsmanlike foul or an excessive foul, given the hard fall. You see there again, number 20, Begvagars had his arm in there. I think the fall is a little bit worse than it seemed. And they are going to call unsportsmanlike foul. So 2 free throws and the possession. And it's never a good sign when they go to the monitor. Begvagars can't quite believe it. Of course, Begvagars picked up a flopping technical in that first half. So now with the unsportsmanlike, there's a chance he may be ejected from the game. And I believe that's what's going to happen. So if Begvagars, with the unsportsmanlike combined with the technical, means that he's been disqualified from the game. We'll have to go to the locker room. So once again, the coach's son will not have a chance to finish this game. Wow, what a turn of events. Popovic took the hard fall, which led to the referees check the monitor. And Begvagars, they've decided, can no longer continue after picking up the flopping technical in the first And then the unsportsmanlike there. Popovic missing the second free throw. And of course, Montenegro will maintain possession. Giannis blooms into the game for Vegvagars. And here's Ivanovic, who again is such a threat on offense. So dangerous in so many ways. This Montenegrin team that features 4 players that play for Buduknos Voli, including Ivanovic. And it's a near turnover, near steal by Blooms, able to get into the passing lane, but couldn't quite secure the ball. 6 seconds on the shot clock for Montenegro. And a little bit more extracurricular activity. Berzins falls to the ground, looking to draw a foul on Jurisic. See here, Jurisic, the left forearm shove. The second one leads to Berzins falling over. No foul called on the play. The ball hadn't been inbounded yet. Meanwhile, shot clock down to 3, so Ivanovic puts it up too strong. Ate able to get around Ivanovic, kicks it out. Lamash, transition 3 is good, and Latvia right back in it. Ate able to drive inside and kick it back out. Ivanovic didn't want to pick up his 3rd foul, so he couldn't quite slow down the fast break. And that's the first fast break field goal of the night for either team. Meanwhile, Ivanovic dribbles it off his foot, turns it over. Myers picks it up. Here comes Ate again. Latvia turning defense into offense. Here's Myers, hands it off to Lamash. Blooms the extra pass. Ate corner 3. Can't get it. And, oh, no travel call there as Sekulic took a little bump from Berzins. And they're going to stop the play. Sekulic took a shot to the face. Not sure if there's some blood. Yep, there is blood on his eye. And of course, the coach just asking how that was not a foul. We'll see here on this rebound, Sekulic goes up. Berzins comes in, that right elbow catches Sekulic on the face. He gets away with the travel. Berzins, no mercy. And Sekulic will have to get bandaged up. And they're going to call a technical foul on Montenegro. So Lamash unable to complete the free throw. Mitrovic simply wondering how a player can be bleeding and no fouls called. But the points don't go for Latvia. And it's still a 2-point game. We've had a lot of action here in the first couple minutes of the 3rd quarter. It's definitely been a physical matchup. And Lamash able to force a turnover. Nearly got a deflection, but by doing so, didn't allow Ivanovic to make the catch. So Latvia with a chance to tie or take the lead now on this possession. It's been a physical, sloppy start to the second half. Ate Blooms loves to hit that corner 3, knocks it in, and Latvia takes the lead here in the second half, which leads to the Montenegrin timeout. Giannis Blooms, so clutch. He's hit so many big shots for this national team. Knocks down another one. Vagvagars loves it. And it's the first lead for Latvia since early on in the first quarter. So you see there the shooting numbers. Giannis Blooms, who has been involved with the national team for Latvia since 1999, almost 20 years representing his country. Obviously back then more the junior level. Meanwhile, at the senior level, his first action was 2005 Eurobasket. He played in the 2005, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and 17 Eurobaskets. So safe to say that there aren't many people who put on that jersey more than Giannis Blooms. "17 different FIBA events for Blooms. Meanwhile, Ivanovic with Needham now in the backcourt alongside him. So Needham playing off the ball now. Gets inside, kicks it out. Popovic lines up the three short, gets his own rebound. And Ivanovic now will get a second chance to produce some points for Montenegro. Jurisic looking to drive baseline, gets inside. Tough fadeaway, no good. Burns the rebound. So Latvia really picking up their defense here in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Lomash stripped. And numbers now for Montenegro. Popovic behind the back. But good transition defense. And it's going to be a foul. Let's look to see if they give it to Berzins. That would be his fourth. But Popovic here almost fell down. And yet you see Berzins kind of stumbled, lost his footing. And that's what leads to his fourth personal foul. So he'll have to come out of the game. Grzoulis comes back in. Grzoulis, who has 3 fouls himself. Meanwhile, Jurisic at the free throw line. And it's been a tough night so far from Nemanja. Jurisic, 0-5 from the field. Can't hit that first free throw. Does have 4 rebounds. And he knocks down the second for his first point of the night. Meanwhile, Popovic looking to go for the steal. Homage to Ate. There's a screen from Grzoulis. They switch it. And it's going to be another foul against Grzoulis. Looking to back down Ivanovic. And that will be foul number 4 on Andrej Grzoulis. Take another look here. He puts his left arm under Ivanovic. So now 2 players with 4 fouls for Latvia, Grzoulis and Berzins. Meanwhile, no player with more than 2 fouls for Montenegro. Ivanovic looking for Dublevic. A lot of help defense. Dublevic spins away from it. Oh, nice footwork. And gets another jump hook to fall. So the big man continuing to show his arsenal of moves as he finally gets his first field goal of the second half, giving 16 points on the night. Montenegro back up 2. Meanwhile, nice pass inside. Myers responds with a bucket of his own. And back and forth we go here. Again, these 2 teams vying for that 3rd place spot in Group I. Three-pointer, no good. And a foul going for the rebound, Jurisic. Meanwhile, again, little conversation, little extra forearm shove. Jurisic not appreciating Lomash taking the ball out of his hands. So the 6'8" big man who plays for Ostend. You might recognize him from the Basketball Champions League. Taking a look here as Jurisic gets called for the push-off. And the Latvian bench applauding the foul call. You see Latvia already with 5 team fouls.
Meanwhile, it's another technical foul as Ivanovic converts a technical free throw. The technical foul that time going against, looks like Ate. So Montenegro gets the lead back. And again, all these technical free throws could really prove costly down the stretch, as we have a foul called. Needham matching up with Blooms. And a kickball will reset the shot clock to 14. Goes down to 5. And by the way, the last technical free throw was awarded to Artis Ate. Meanwhile, oh, nice deflection there by Needham, anticipating the cross-court pass. So Montenegro still a 1-point lead, just under 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Blooms has room, can't hit the three this time, and Needham able to collect the rebound, waits for everything to clear out. Needham probing, keeps the dribble alive, tough angle on the runner. Lamache comes away with the rebound, looking to push. Myers runs with them, but they call it offensive foul on Lamache, pushing off the left arm. Unfortunate for him as Myers is trailing. Take another look here. Yep, brings that left arm to get Jurisic off of him. Great transition defense. Mitrovic appreciating the call. Tough break against Lamache. No free throws though for Montenegro, so that was an offensive foul. You can't get free throws even if it's in the penalty if there's been an offensive foul. So Ivanovic, Needham, Popovic, Jurisic, and Dublovic. As again, great position. And Dublovic this time offensive foul, using that left shoulder to create the space. And I can't remember a game where we've seen this many offensive fouls. Dublovic looking to clear room, no question. That's an offensive foul. Third personal foul now for Dublovic. So that's going to bring Sekulic back into the game. Blooms gets inside to Myers. Ate drives baseline. Corner three, knocked down. Oyar Silins with his first three-pointer, and the 6'8" shooter showing you the outside touch. You see Latvia now with 7 3-pointers on the night. Montenegro just 3. Ivanovic, can he respond? Not this time. The hustle for the loose ball, and it ends up a jump ball. I think they call it foul, actually. So in the battle for the rebound, the ball goes to the ground. Sekulic has that position, rolls around, and they do call a foul on Ate for diving on top. So that will be free throws now for Montenegro. Tough break for Ate. You usually teach players to hustle for the ball and dive down to the ground. So now Sekulic
a chance to get into double figures. Quiet game for him, it seems, but he does have 9 points now, potentially 10, also 7 rebounds to lead the way in that department. And he's short on the second one. So Montenegro still down 1. 4 minutes in the third quarter. Sekulic falls. Meanwhile, Silence can't make it 2 in a row. Sekulic another rebound. Sekulic is about 6'10", so definitely has the size on him to get all these rebounds. Ivanovic, Needham, nice little jab step, tough fadeaway jump shot, but he knocks it down anyway. And Needham stays hot. Now leading scorer at 17 points. Lomash gets all the way to the layup. Great patience by him. Able to get around the defense and give Latvia the lead. Back and forth we go as the lead continues to change hands. Meanwhile, Popovic, Ivanovic in the corner. He can't hit the 3. And Lomash, after the good box out from Silence, is able to get the rebound. 54-53. Latvia looking to add to their lead. Neither team able to secure too much breathing room. Meanwhile, tremendous find from Blooms inside the Myers for another field goal. You see there off the dribble, one-handed bullet pass. And now Myers with 14 points as Needham draws a foul. He'll head to the free throw line. Ate picking up his 4th. And that's very, very unfortunate for Latvia. Ate, one of the more consistent leaders. And of course, with Vegvigars out of the game, that means that Artis Osej will check in number 2 for the first time. Only his 2nd game for Latvia in these qualifiers. In his previous one, played about 9 minutes, scored 2 points. And now he's been asked to come into this contested battle and contribute. Although Osej does play here in Riga as Myers gets another 2. Great teamwork. Silence able to draw the defense and dumps it off to Myers, who's always in the right place at the right time. Meanwhile, Popovic, he makes a nice pass of his own, and the 2-pointer for Nemanja Jurisic drops in. Oh, Lomash, Myers again, hard foul. That's gonna go against Selvic. And Latvia's doing a great job passing, especially in tight spaces. Drawing the defense as Selvic picks up his 3rd foul. So Myers will head to the free throw line for 2. Looking for his 17th and 18th points. Can't hit the first. It's his first free throw of the game. And 1 for 2 for Myers. And we're also going to see for the first time Roland Frimanis. Number 3 checks in for the first time, the 6'10" power forward. Another big body for Vegvigars. He'll be matched up with Sekulic. And right away they go at Frimanis, but they call Gonna be a foul, touch foul, more free throws for Sekulic. Fremenis just shakes his head. He's only been in for about 30 seconds, not even, and gets called for a foul. So this time the free throw falls for Sekulic. He's now got 10 points to go to his 8 rebounds. See there, he's 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And make that 7 for 8. Lamage, little behind the back dribble. Long 2, no good. And Juricic to rebound back over to Needham. But Sekulic, who came into this game just 18 minutes, 4.5 points per game so far tonight, already with 11. Meanwhile, the three-pointer, no good that time. It's another foul on Fremenis, as once again, Sekulic was crashing the offensive glass, and Fremenis using his right arm to knock him off balance. You see the missed 3 from Sehovic, and right there, it's another loose ball foul, 2 more free throws, and another chance for Sekulic to give Montenegro the lead. Meanwhile, Radoncic comes back into the game. And the free throw bounces around and in, as Mitrovic able to get his players a little bit of rest here at the end of the third, going into the final break. And 4 consecutive free throws knocked in by Lagota Sekulic. Meanwhile, Lamage, can he make it 2 in a row? Yes, he can. Same action as earlier. Keeps the dribble alive, gets around the defense, and finishes with the right-handed layup. And again, we're tied. So where the first half saw Montenegro control the lead, throughout this third quarter has been back and forth, 11 lead changes. Meanwhile, a lot of bodies falling, no foul called. Latvia, 2 seconds on the game clock. Vitos throws it up. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter, with this game tied at 61. So we're sure to be in line for a thrilling finish in this final 10 minutes of the game. At the end of 3, it's Latvia, Montenegro tied up at 61.
World. FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. Want it? Come and get it.
So, of course, all this action will be leading up to the FIBA Basketball World Cup in the summer 2019 in China. You see the stats. You also saw the global ambassador for the World Cup, Kobe Bryant, who joins Yao Ming as the ambassadors for this tremendous event. Meanwhile, some numbers to look at. The free throw shooting, Montenegro, 20 of 24, being very aggressive, getting to the foul line. I can show you the highlights of that third quarter. Of course, Kaspars Vegvigars was disqualified after picking up an unsportsmanlike foul in the third quarter. And that was following his technical foul for flopping in the second quarter. Meanwhile, we saw Latvia come out with the advantage in the third quarter, 20-16, leading to the 61 all score that we have now. Courtesy of guys like Giannis Blooms making money passes. Blooms with 3 assists to go to his 6 points. At the moment, Latvia with 3 players in double figures. Martins Myers with 17 points. Burns with 13 and Lamage is with 10. Lamage also with 6 assists, though he does have 5 turnovers. On the other end, Needham with 19 points on 6 of 8 shooting. That's him now with the ball. Dulovic with 16 points and Sekulic with 13. Ivanovic still quiet, looking for his rhythm. He starts. And Sekulic, patient, good footwork, and finishes on the right-hand side of the basket. Another 2 for him, giving 15 points on the game on just 3 of 4 field goals. Meanwhile, Ivanovic goes for the steal, can't finish, and picks up another foul. So the 15 points for Sekulic is a high so far in these qualifiers. Previously, his high had been against Bulgaria in the first round. We had 11 points. And he came into this one with just a combined 1 point in his last 2 games. So Blagota Sekulic with somewhat of an unexpected contribution with his 15 points and 8 rebounds. Meanwhile, nice pass inside group. Zilis kicks it out. And it's a 3-pointer on the way. Vitos really short. And the foul will be called, it looks like, against Montenegro. Jurisic seems to have had inside position on the rebound. The second foul on him. Meanwhile, catch and shoot 3, no good that time from Alcic. Here comes Needham. See the rebounding numbers. Only 19 total rebounds for Latvia. Meanwhile, good defense leads to the steal. And Lamage, driving kick, Sillins for 3, too strong. Able to get his own rebound. Goes right into the teeth of the defense and finishes strong at the hoop. Sillins stays with the play. Goes right at Sekulic. No foul called. But this game is tied at 63. Here's Needham. Sehovic for 3, in and out. The battle for the offensive rebound will lead to another possession for Montenegro. Meanwhile, mass substitutions. Shot no good. Blooms the rebound. Here's Ivanovic. So the foul goes against Blooms. And here's a 3-pointer. Dulovic knocks down the big 3 to give Montenegro a 3-point lead. Finally showing the outside touch. Meanwhile, another foul called That's going to be the third team foul on Montenegro. There's Mayers inside, going right at Sekulic. Oh, he pulls the chair, but it doesn't matter. Mayers finishes yet again. And the one guy that we had identified to have to pick up the scoring slack in this game has done just that. 19 points on the night for him. Ivanovic has room. The three-pointer won't count as they call the offensive foul on Sekulic for clearing out space. Take another look here. Sekulic sets the screen and rolls. And that is, by definition, a moving screen. So 3 fouls now. Sekulic. Meanwhile, Myers, whose high so far in the qualifiers had been 17 points, did have 4 games of double figures. And here he is again looking for points. 21, and he gets it on a jump hook. Martins Myers, 10 of 12 from the field. Extremely efficient shooting from him. And once again, Latvia regains the lead. Needham couldn't quite find the angle for Dubljevic. Meanwhile, Ivanovic, oh, cold-blooded three-point shot from Nikolai Ivanovic. His first three-pointer of the night. As a matter of fact, just his 6th point of the night. Meanwhile, step back three, no good that time. And Dubljevic another rebound. Only the 3rd rebound actually for Dubljevic. Here comes Ivanovic again. Tough 2. And the battle for the loose ball stays with Montenegro. One of those 50-50 balls. But they decide to give the possession back to Montenegro. And you see here Ivanovic with the runner. Couldn't quite get it off the glass. And it does seem like the ball went off of Myers. A little pick and pop. And Dubljevic makes it 2 in a row. And now we really see the star stepping up. Dubljevic knocking down his 2nd through the 4th quarter. Obviously, Ivanovic just hit 1 as well. And after not hitting any 3-pointers in the 3rd quarter, Montenegro already with 3 threes here in the first 5 minutes of the 4th. And that's now 22 points on the night for Dubljevic, giving Montenegro a 5-point lead at the 5-minute mark. Shooting still pretty impressive. Montenegro 45% overall. Meanwhile, Latvia 50% overall, 60% from 2. You see the second chance points really picking up in favor of Montenegro. They've collected 13 offensive rebounds and converted 24 second chance points off of those rebounds. Here's Blooms. Back inside to Myers. Tough shot by Blooms. Can't finish it. Ivanovic gets the board. And he'll bring it up for Montenegro. Time and score. And they're going to call a foul there on Blooms for a hold as Needham was looking to cut. It's actually a technical foul on Blooms. So on that last shot, Blooms thought that he was fouled and addressed his frustration at the referee. And of course, the veteran, who's always an emotional player, plays with a lot of passion, but should know kind of the right time to exercise that passion, giving Ivanovic and Montenegro an extra point there for free. And now Latvia finds himself down 6. Meanwhile, Ivanovic step back 3, this time no good. And Osech comes away with the rebound. See Montenegro plus 12 on the glass. Ate takes the bump and he'll head to the free throw line for 2. So Ate able to draw a foul on Derek Needham. Again, we're going to be in for a thrilling final 4 minutes as Needham now has 3 fouls himself. And Ate unable to hit the first free throw. But Latvia with plenty of time and probably a number of opportunities on the way, though they can't take advantage of that one. Although Dublovic asking that they go to the monitor, but they can't do that until the final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. Take another look here. Again, another one of those 50-50 balls. There's Osech, the runner, tough shot, and Ivanovic another rebound. So Montenegro with the possession, happy to use up some clock. Jurisic inside to Dublovic. The help side comes, triple team, and it forces Ivanovic into a tough shot. Desperation, no good. Rebound Latvia. They look to push. They find Myers in transition. Quick 2. Great play by Latvia. And a great pass from Osech to Myers, who turns and scores. The lead is just 4 for Montenegro. They are in the bonus. So the next foul will mean free throws. No foul that time. And here comes Latvia again. All deflection. Dublovic prevents the fast break layup. And then they pick up a foul on Myers in the backcourt, which is the fourth team foul on Latvia. So any defensive foul the rest of the way will result in free throws for either team. But Latvia, what a chance. They just squandered. And Dublovic makes a nice defensive play as he's retreating back into the transition. They go inside. Dublovic, quick spin. And a tap in by Jurisic. Crashing the offensive glass yet again. And Montenegro goes back up 6. Meanwhile, Selvic will be called for a foul. Seems to have taken a shot to the face. And you see there, looking to deny. Selvic obviously not happy with the call. But now Ate, after missing the last 2 on his previous trip, knocks down the first one here. So big free throw by Artis Ate. And he goes 2 for 2 this time. Latvia now putting a little bit more pressure in the backcourt, looking to speed up the tempo. Jurisic, he'll take a three. Oh, clutch shot. Nemanja Jurisic showing off the outside touch. And the Ostend player gives them a 7-point lead. Meanwhile, Lomash, a little bit of hot potato. And Ashe, the ball slips out of his hand, and they're going to call. The ball went out of bounds. Great defense from Ivanovic. It looked like Alsesh committed a foul here. Oh, you see the stripped by Ivanovic. And then Mitrovic wanted the unsportsmanlike. And they will go to the monitor yet again to establish whether or not it should be an unsportsmanlike foul, which would give Ivanovic 2 free throws and Montenegro the possession. It looked like Ivanovic had a chance to get this ball before it went out of bounds. So he goes for it. And obviously a little bit off camera there, takes a hard tumble. This angle will give us a better look. Kind of that, using that right elbow. The referees, Mazzoni and Chalik, discussing what the outcome will be. 1 minute and 45 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Once again, at the moment, if the score remains like this, Montenegro would move up to 5-4. Meanwhile, Latvia would drop to 5-4, which would put them at in a tie for third place in Group I. Meanwhile, Turkey currently the top spot. Ukraine also at 5-4, and it will be a unsportsmanlike foul. So Ukraine, with a massive victory over Slovenia, 82-54 at home, moves them to 5-4, and that also means that Slovenia drops to 2-7, which pretty much eliminates them. I'm not sure if it's absolute elimination, but makes their job that much tougher. But it means that if the score stands this way, we will have 3 teams in Group I at 5-4. Obviously, with a few more games to play, 3 more games to play. Montenegro actually plays Ukraine in February. Meanwhile, Ivanovic can't hit the 3, and it will be a foul on the rebound. Jurisic hacking Myers. Montenegro the 9-point lead. And Montenegro have a tough game at home on Sunday against Turkey. Meanwhile, Latvia will play Slovenia on Sunday. A Slovenian team that obviously, after winning the Eurobasket 2017, hasn't been able to duplicate that success in the qualifiers. Myers goes 2 for 2. Still plenty of time. 90 seconds left. 7-point deficit for Latvia. They need a turnover. Needham happy to keep the ball in his hands. Looking to break down the defense. They get the switch. Needham. Finger roll no good, but it's tipped up and in by Jurisic, who's had a phenomenal fourth quarter here.
Meanwhile, referees stop the play. But Jurisic now with 8 points and 7 rebounds. So Blooms will check back in. So Myers, who's 25 points on 11-13 shooting, will potentially not lead to victory. He's been dueling it out with Bojan Dubljevic, who has 22 points of his own, although Dubljevic getting a lot more help from his teammates. Needham with 19, Jurisic with 10 now, actually, and Ivanovic with 9 points, pretty much all coming in the second half to go with his 6 assists. So 1 minute and 5 seconds left here in Riga. Here's Myers. Lamash looking to go back to Myers. Has a switch. Ivanovic is on him, and he gets another 2 to fall to bring it back down to 7. Meanwhile, no pressure on Dubljevic in the backcourt. Needham looking to get over half court. Nice behind the back dribble to escape the defense. Once again, Needham will just dribble down the shot clock and look to break down the defense. Dubljevic pump fakes, puts the ball down the floor, little fadeaway, no good. And it's another tip in by Jurisic, who has been an absolute animal here in the fourth quarter, and that might just do it. Meanwhile, Dubljevic is steal, and that pretty much puts the icing on the cake as Dubljevic raises his arms in victory formation. Jurisic looking to put the dagger down. Decides to pull it back out. Tough shot, no good. And as the buzzer sounds, Montenegro comes away with an 84-75 win here on the road in Riga over Latvia. It's a major victory for Montenegro as they now move to 5-4 in Group I, 5 wins, 4 losses, to match the same record as both Ukraine and Latvia. It's going to be a 3-team race for 3rd place. And of course, that 3rd place means you get to qualify for the World Cup. So what a tremendous basketball game we have just witnessed here in Riga, with Montenegro coming out victorious by 9 after a dominant performance defensively, holding Latvia to just 14 points in the fourth quarter. And you see there the numbers. Latvia shot the ball relatively well. Montenegro took advantage of their size to dominate the rebounding numbers, the interior play, and also to make up for their excessive turnovers. It was a physical matchup. A lot of things happened in this game. Yeah, a lot of technical fouls, unsportsmanlike calls, some blood. But at the end of the day, Montenegro comes out on top, 84-75. So the player of the game, there were a number of guys who stepped up for Montenegro. None bigger than Bojan Dubljevic, 27 minutes, gave them 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Meanwhile, Derek Needham had to come off the bench earlier than expected after Ivanovic picked up 2 fouls in the first couple of minutes. He finishes the game with 19 points on 6 of 10 shooting. Also had 2 assists. Meanwhile, Nemanja Jurisic, 12 points, 9 rebounds. Lakota Sekulic, 15 points, 9 rebounds as well. And of course, their go-to guy throughout this qualifying round has been Nikola Ivanovic, who
despite only playing 19 minutes, had 9 points and 6 assists on, we could say it was not his best shooting night, just 2 of 10. Meanwhile, for Latvia, we wondered who was going to step up. No Porzingis, no Giannis Tima, no Bertans brothers, and no Giannis Strelnieks. But it was Martins Myers, 27 points on 12 of 14 shooting, to go with 4 rebounds and 3 steals, who really led the way. Kaspars Bertans with 13 points, pretty much all in the first half. And then Rihard Lomash with 10 points. No other players in double figures for Latvia. So just ran out of gas there in the fourth quarter as we leave you with the highlights of the game. So once again, these two teams will be back in action on Sunday as Montenegro will play Turkey at home in Montenegro. Meanwhile, Latvia will have a chance to get back to their winning ways against Slovenia. And then Latvia will play Spain in February. And these two teams will face off yet once again in the final game day 12 of the World Cup qualifiers, also in February. You know, so for Montenegro, so they play Turkey at home on Sunday, then they play Ukraine, which will surely be a massive game for potentially that third place spot. And then these two teams could once again be competing for third place in that final game of the final window of the qualifiers in February. Of course, Montenegro, who beat Ukraine last time out at home 90-84, will continue to see if they can get their momentum going. They've won 4 of their last 5 of the qualifiers after starting 1-3. So they've definitely been more impressive later in the qualifying rounds. But that will do it from us here in Riga. Thank you so much for tuning into this World Cup qualifier. We will have more action for you throughout the weekend, featuring a number of teams from a number of countries fighting out for one of the 32 spots. Thanks for watching. Good night.